Oh, hey folks, it's time for the April month in review, and I'm a little bit later than I wanted to be on this um, because I had laryngitis last week and I couldn't talk, so I couldn't do the video. But I'm all better now. It is very hot, and so I have all the windows open, and I'm doing this recording in a different room. So that's why I'm keeping the weird background this month. Uh, so if you hear noises or weird things in the background, it's cars going by, it's people outside. It's just too hot to have the windows closed. So anyway, let's get right to it. So April month in review. April was very disappointing compared to March. And we shouldn't really be surprised about this. This is because I lost momentum with the Barbie stuff. I had to put it away at a certain point. It was just too much. It had taken over the shop. I had tables and tables of Barbie outfits and clothing everywhere, and it was an absolute disaster. I just had to put it away and do something else. And we decided to focus a little bit more on cleaning up our workspace. Our warehouse was way too full from all the leftover stuff from the storage lockers we bought earlier in the year. We had just shelves and shelves and totes full of yard sale stuff. So we had a warehouse sale at the very end of April, which was a great top up to the month. But as you can see from the numbers on the screen, the eBay numbers were pretty disappointing, down 28.5% from March, which was a banner month for us, one of our best months ever. But if I'm comparing to one of our best months ever, being down 28.5% isn't so bad. It definitely could have been a lot worse. So I'm just going to share with you a few of my favorite eBay sales from the month. Theorize a little bit on some of the reasons why, other than the Barbies, that April might have been slow, and give you my prediction for May. So let's get right to it. I have to share this sale with you. I absolutely love this item. So I actually have had this blanket listed in the store for I think at least a couple of years, maybe even 3 years. I believe it's from a Mary Maxim pattern, vintage pattern, but the workmanship on this blanket is incredible. Whoever made it, even if they were following a pattern, was incredibly talented because it is absolutely perfect. I had another one similar to it that I actually sold a long time ago, and this one's been sitting around. I took a best offer on it of I think 175 US, and the buyer was thrilled, so I was happy to push this one out the door. It was so beautiful that I almost wanted to keep it, but it's not really my style. One of my favorite sales of the month was this Twiggy mini purse. Absolutely love this thing. So I first heard about Twiggy when I was a little kid. Like my mom used to talk about her, and so I've known who she is or was for a very long time. And when you see Twiggy stuff, it's like totally worth picking up because she's so unusual, so iconic model of the mod era, and this stuff is so neat, some of the products that they made. So this was from the Barbie collection. This Twiggy mini purse made in 1967. Little clutch bag, in remarkable condition for its age. Very little wrong with it. Just a couple tiny little bits of wear and tear, but really fantastic condition for how old it was. And I got full price of $199 on that one. But the best sale of April turned out to be this military lot. Now, there are a lot of people out there who don't like when sellers sell militaria, and I can get behind their arguments here. You know, the idea that these items should go back to the family, or they should be immortalized in a museum. These are very valid things. We choose to sell militaria for a variety of reasons. But what's interesting about this one, this came from one of the storage lockers that we got in February. And with a storage locker, you can sometimes kind of put together the story of the person who owned it. But what we were able to surmise from this storage unit is that this stuff belonged to somebody who was perhaps an ex or a friend of the person who actually had the storage unit. So there didn't seem to be a connection between, like, a emotional or real connection between the person who had the storage unit and the person who was taking care of this militaria. In fact, all the boxes that we found this stuff in were labeled Scott's crap. And we also didn't find it all together. It was all over the storage unit in different boxes, labeled Scott's crap. Very much disrespected, a lot of it dirty, thrown all over the place, super disorganized. And we kind of, as we were sorting the unit, managed to put it all together, everything that was related to this one person. And I did find out a little bit about the background of this person. And there were some really cool things in this lot. So I've got a picture of him here, which is amazing. I was offered previously $150 just for that HMCS Charlottetown patch that you see there just in front of the picture. I declined that offer and decided to wait. We have some medals that have been shined up for ceremonial presentation. And what's cool here is we have this large piece of copper, which is called a survival medal. And this looks to be some kind of joke or novelty gift that this fellow's like buddies in the military created for him, because the letter that's behind it refers to it and makes a bunch of jokes about the guy. It's just a really neat piece of history. And in this coronation scrapbook, which the scrapbook itself is actually not that hard to find. You can find other ones from 1952. But what's cool about this one is that this person actually attended the coronation, like as part of the Canadian regiment that went there. And so it has the itinerary inside it of like when he was supposed to be in certain places and which marches happened when and things like that. So really interesting connection to Commonwealth history as well. Just a really fascinating a lot of stuff. And I did take an offer on this for $730 US. I was really happy with that. The buyer is thrilled, and it did stay within Canada. So that's very cool. And I think that the person who bought it is going to take really good care of it. So that's kind of the highlights of April. Like I said, April was a little bit of a disappointing month, but we always have some good sales and some things to kind of keep us going every month. And those were some of the bigger ones, or the ones that I was happier about. Our warehouse sale went pretty well. We definitely brought in pretty close to as much cash as we were hoping for. But most importantly, we got our space back. So we were able to organize the warehouse, get into corners that we haven't been in months, really clean things out, get a lot of the clutter, get a lot of the dust out, which is so important. Keeping that space clean is a challenge, keeping the spiders out of the cracks and things like that. So it was really nice to get there and get the warehouse back under control. And now that it is under control, we are looking for another pick. And as usual, it's been really hard to find those bulk buys that we're always seeking. We've been picking up some interesting stuff. In April, the town of Tsawwassen and Delta nearby us had their spring cleanup, which is a time where residents can put anything that they want out on the curb for garbage pickup. And lots of pickers go and see what they can find. And we found some really cool stuff. This year was actually really good for items on the sidewalk, everything from bicycles to garden tools to art and toys, hockey gear, lots of sporting equipment and things like that. Most of it's more suitable for local selling. And so for that reason, even though we got a lot of great stuff, it's not going to feed our eBay store in the way that we need right now. So we're on the hunt for a bigger pick. We're going to be going picking in the US pretty soon, and hopefully we'll be able to get a lot of stuff there. But right now we're just been sort of grinding it out, finding bins of things in the corners that we haven't dealt with in a while. Working on some more long tail stuff like jewelry and things like that I always end up putting to the side because I know how long it takes to sell. So I don't have a lot of motivation to do those kinds of projects. But you know what? We're doing them because we have the space and we have the time right now, and we don't have a big overwhelming collection to really keep us busy. The Barbie stuff I've started to pull out again, bit by bit, sort of a box at a time. I've really given up on trying to put all the outfits together. I don't think I can do it. I don't think it's worth my time. So I'll just be putting up lots of things that are from similar era. I'll put all the shoes together, and I'm starting to do things like that. So hopefully that will spur on some of those Barbie and doll sales that worked so well for us in March. But that's pretty much all I have to say about April. I'm looking forward to May, although the last few days have been a real struggle to get sales going, and I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't really sat down to think about why things are so slow, but it's probably just a continuation of this this frustration that we're having with not having a big bulk buy to just throw into the store and throw up dozens or hundreds of similar items, which is the absolute best way to give your store some momentum. And we haven't had that in a while, and we don't have it now. So I think that slowdown will probably just sort of continue until we can find something really good to throw into the shop. So that's what we're going to be focusing our time on for the next few weeks. And I'll report back in June and let you know how it went. Want more videos like this? Make sure to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment below to tell me what you want to see more of.